13 strange things caught while fishing. Alligator gar. Alligator gars are not something you see every day. In fact, they look like something from the Jurassic era, looking more like a dinosaur than an alligator, which is probably why they are often referred to as living fossils. These large aquatic creatures have ganoid scales which are practically impenetrable and come in handy against predators. They also have a double row of big, sharp teeth in their upper jaw, which is different to other gar species. These teeth are used to pierce and hold on to prey. Doesn't sound like something you'd want to catch, right? Well, in 2011, a man in Vicksburg, Mississippi snagged a record-breaking alligator gar that weighed in at a whopping 327 pounds and measured 8 feet 5 inches long. If you were planning on having a swim in the old Mississippi, you may want to think twice about it. 12. Goliath tigerfish. This giant African fish is definitely one to be careful around. They've been known to eat crocodiles and humans, two of the most dangerous animals on Earth. The Goliath tigerfish is found primarily in the Congo River Basin and Lake Tanganyika and has large teeth which fit into unique grooves along its jaws. This fish is highly predatory and grows up to lengths of 4.9 feet and weights of up to 110 pounds. This is another fish that I wouldn't want to catch, but fisherman Jeremy Wade set out to catch one, spending 8 days in the Congo before finally catching one. It weighed in at 100 pounds and measured a healthy 5 feet long. He is very lucky to still have all 10 of his fingers and toes, if you ask me. 11. Alien sea creature. Let's just start with the most obvious point here. This thing looks like something from the movie Alien. A fisherman in Singapore found this creature alive on his boat after going out fishing, and it had dozens of tentacles squirming and moving around. As if that wasn't enough to creep you out, its arms keep growing and expanding, and they replicate. It truly is an alien creature. The fisherman called it a basket star, which is a close relative of the starfish. No matter how much we squint, though, we just can't see the familial connection. Looks like a mutated spaghetti. 10. Two-bodied fish. This photo has been shared on the internet for around a decade now and shows one fisherman's unlikely catch. The rarity of a Siamese fish is quite high, which means catching one of them is even rarer, but one lucky angler caught this pike in North Dakota in the Missouri River. And while catching a conjoined twin fish is pretty impressive, we have to wonder about something even more important. Does this catch count as one fish or two? If you think that this two-headed wonder is a wild catch, you should check out our video, Strange Animals with Two Heads. From kittens to alligators, you won't regret it. 9. Snapping turtle. There are a few creatures that you really don't want to reel in when you are out fishing, and this one fits the bill exactly. These large creatures have really strong beak-like jaws and a very mobile head and neck, making them even more dangerous. But one brave young boy encountered one of these creatures when he was fishing in a creek in Oklahoma. He said that it felt like he had hooked a monster, and little did he know that he had. When he got the monster close enough, he identified it as a snapping turtle and quickly cut the line instead of trying to take on the formidable-looking animal. It probably would have snapped him right up. 8. Colossal squid. This large, leggy feller is not to be confused with the more well-known giant squid. The colossal squid is actually much bigger, but it has shorter tentacles that have swiveling hooks running their length, as opposed to the small teeth and suckers which its cousin possesses. This mysterious monster is rarely photographed or filmed, despite it being pulled up by deep-sea fishing nets occasionally, but these huge marine animals are believed to grow as long as 45 feet in length or more. While most of us are worried about jaws, it is the colossal squid that makes me think again about heading out for some deep-sea fishing. 7. Wels Catfish. This large and rather strange-looking fish are known to live in the central, southern, and eastern parts of Europe. This weighty fish typically weighs more than 400 pounds and can grow to over 13 feet in length and live for up to 60 years. They are quite aggressive and use their razor-sharp teeth to catch and kill their prey. We certainly wouldn't want to pull one of these up from the water. The largest one of these fish ever caught with a rod and reel was snagged in Italy's Po Delta River. It measured in at 8.8 feet long and weighed 280 pounds. Wow! Six, a test bomb. Yes, you heard that right. A fisherman in Maryland in the USA was having a pleasant fishing trip with his father when he unexpectedly caught an unexploded test bomb on the end of his line. Luckily for the pair, the Coast Guard was close by and the bomb was put back into the water without it detonating. The fishermen did some investigating and found out that the area that they were dropping their lines was home to target ships, which are military sea craft used for test bombing and radar testing. The bomb that he caught was a BDU-33, a small steel and cast iron non-explosive weapon that is used in military training to simulate real bombs. This is one lucky fisherman because things could have turned out very differently for him if it had been a live bomb. Five, giant shrimp. Imagine swimming around in the water with this giant 18-inch long shrimp. It was caught off of Florida's coast by Steve Bargeron, and many experts believe that it is the famous mantis shrimp, an incredibly strong shrimp which has been known to break crab shells and aquarium glass with its claws and strike with the same force as a bullet from a rifle. Their claws can move at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive. What's the best thing you've ever caught while out fishing? Did you catch the biggest fish anyone's ever seen, or maybe even a mermaid? Let us know in the comment section below. Your comment could be featured in a future video. Four, bats. This one might sound quite odd because bats are not water creatures, not even by a long stretch of the imagination. So how on earth do people catch these furry flappers when they are fishing, you ask? Well, rivers and lakes are commonly surrounded by foliage and bats live in trees. So as you swing your line, the hook may accidentally snag one of these little flyers either in the tree or in mid-flight around the water. Some fishermen have also caught bats when they were fishing in small rivers and streams near caves. Not quite what you imagine when you think of catching your dinner, huh? Three, snakes. Although it is called fishing, fish is not all you can catch on your annual weekend away with the boys. In fact, catching water snakes is fairly common. While water snakes are harmless, there are other types of water-dwelling serpents, such as the water moccasin or cottonmouth, which are deadly. So if you are fishing in an area where snakes are known to live, make sure that you have learned to tell the difference between a cottonmouth and a water snake. Two fishermen were recently unpleasantly surprised when they reeled in a 16-foot-long snake on the Chagrin River in the USA. The snake turned out to be a dead constrictor that was frozen in the river. It is a mystery how it got there, though, as constrictors don't live in such cold climates. I suppose the fishermen are quite lucky that it wasn't alive. Two, Goliath grouper. Jeremy Wade from the River Monster Show was out in the Florida Channel one night trying to catch a bull shark, but what ended up on the end of his line shocked him. A gigantic grouper weighing over 350 pounds with formidable spikes on its back is definitely not what he had in mind when he set out to fish in the river inlets that night. Not sure which is worse, a bull shark or a massive Goliath grouper with its sharp spikes. Let's take our chances with the bull shark instead based on the looks of this thing. Number 1. Creepy ocean bug. So the wolffish and the Wels catfish may be ugly to look at, and the constrictor and the giant shrimp may be quite dangerous, but even with all of the strange things that have been pulled out of the water when fishing, this odd creature certainly wins first prize. This huge sea bug has officially been named a giant isopod, which is a rather fitting name, and while this creepy crawler may not taste as good as crab or lobster, it is still a very impressive catch, and the smile on the fisherman's face says it all. Thanks for watching DTR. Don't forget to push that subscribe button. Up next, 17 strange animals with 2 heads. Two-headed dolphin. When the Fukushima disaster in Japan made news worldwide, there were many who feared that the nuclear catastrophe would cause mutations in the surrounding marine life. In 2014, a two-headed whale in California called into question the effect that the Fukushima disaster could have had on this animal, with many believing that the water contamination caused the